guys, it's time for Monday Night Raw to try and even up the score with SmackDown, because SmackDown came out of the brand split strong with Backlash.
And just SmackDowns in general.
Yeah, so Raw...
This is just Raw's chance to try and catch up.
Yeah, Raw's going into their first brand-exclusive pay-per-view, being Clash of Champions, with more matches than Backlash had.
Yeah, but less favoritism because their weekly programming hasn't been nearly as good.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, they were already kind of, behind the eight ball, so to speak, because we've seen Cesaro versus Sheamus so many times. We've already seen the Club versus the New Day. Not everyone was really interested in seeing Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. Nobody wanted to see Rusev versus Roman Reigns. And so, I mean, your three real selling points were the Cruiserweight Championship, the Women's Championship, and the Universal Championship. So luckily it's Clash of Champions, where titles are what matters.
Absolutely.
But we did start with the pre-show, which had Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox.
Yeah, good match.
It was. I mean, it's nice to see Alicia getting some spotlight. She's one of the more underutilized, really good talents on the women's roster.
Yeah, absolutely. She is somebody who I think needs to get more TV time.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be good for both of them because Nia obviously is going to be put over as, the big, dominant, who can take this person down type of woman. But this is good for Alicia because she can start integrating herself in with the likes of Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte. Because she was in the NXT Women's Championship tournament, so she's faced all these ladies before, and it's, you need to start building up the roster because SmackDown's killing it with the women's roster. So, and yeah, Foxy looked great, did a lot more than she's done in any match in recent history I can think of.
I can't think of a match she's had in recent history.
That's other than when she got crushed by Nia a couple weeks ago on Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being about it, she's usually relegated to, the jobber heel. She's always kind of felt in that role. And she got to shine a lot in this. She had a really nice crossbody off the top rope. She was taking the fight to Nia Jax. She ended up hitting the scissor kick.
Yeah, she's the first person on the main roster to have Nia Jax in the defensive.
Yeah. And, I knew it was going to take full-on loony bin Alicia Fox to put away Nia, but she did a good job, obviously just not enough to put Nia away, because Nia would kick out of the pin attempt after the scissor kick, just bowl right over Alicia Fox, give her the hip attack in the corner, and then finish her off with a Samoan drop.
Yeah, the freaking deadlift Samoan where she starts with them in body slam position and then throws them over her head into the Samoan drop.
What the Usos can never quite hit very well, she did pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, the Usos just have a hard time controlling their Samoan drops regardless of how they start.
Yeah. So now we're heading into the main card, and just as a reminder for those of you that didn't see our wager last week, we're putting punishments in place for the loser of the pay-per-view predictions. This one being the smoothie challenge.
Yeah.
Whomever wins, however many more points they have than the loser will have to pick at random that many different ingredients to add to a Greek yogurt and handful of ice smoothie base. So as of right now, we are tied at 1. We both went for Nia Jax. So let's head into the main card where we have our first split decision here. Kevin Hawk going for the New Day retention. Me going for the Club finally winning the tag team titles. Right off the bat, the Club takes out Big E and Xavier Woods on the outside.
Yeah, I got nervous real fast because the Club came ready to go.
Yeah, the distraction was that Anderson was faced off with Kofi in the ring, and while Big E was taking his jacket off, Gallows runs over and just clotheslines the hell out of Big E, runs around the other side, boots Xavier Woods in the face, and then Anderson's just kind of off to the races with Kofi with that first big sit-out powerbomb.
Yeah.
Immediately taking Kofi out. And so the club was in control for the majority of the match. Big E ended up getting tagged in eventually, and then it was kind of like him trying to save Kofi. And yeah, it was, you know, the New Day, you know, really having to fight for this title retention. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff that they pulled. Like I said, we saw this match at SummerSlam. You know, we've seen it multiple times on Raw, so it's nothing new. But I did appreciate the forwardness of the club to really get the match going. And eventually, you know, we do have, you know, all the members of the New Day kind of, you know, come back to consciousness. You know, they start running on all cylinders. It was a good spot of a lot of rushes to pins. Big E ended up getting hit.
Yeah,
Big E got hit with the boot of doom.
Yeah, it was a good use of the false finish.
Yeah,
because they had a good handful of pins where I thought, oh, this is the match, this is the end.
Yeah.
You know, to have like a last minute save or an unexpected kick out.
Yeah, Big E hit the big ending on Carl Anderson. Yeah, it was just a lot of really good stuff. And Gallows ends up getting taken out from Kofi's trust fall dive, which distracts the referee. And while Anderson is hanging over the ropes on the other side, he gets hit in the head with Francesca by Xavier Woods. Turns around, Kofi ends up making the tag to Big E. They end up hitting the Midnight Hour on Carl Anderson, and the New Day retain the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
So
New Day?
So Kevin Hart going up 2-1 in the prediction so far.
Don't challenge the POP.
Alright.
You know me.
POP, yeah, you know me. Then we move on to our newest championship, the Cruiserweight.
Trombone is going to be one of the ingredients that I put in the bag.
How the hell are we going to blend that up? I hope I don't have to drink
It's the magic part of the magic bullet.
it. TJP defending the brand new WWE Cruiserweight Championship against the Brian Kendrick. I felt like... I'm not going to say the match was bad, but they had a couple of very standout flubs that kind of took me out of the match.
Here's my issue. This is exactly what everybody who was a fan of the Cruiserweight Classic was afraid of.
Uh-oh.
WWE ringing in the Cruiserweight division. Because I feel like out of everyone who won in that Fatal 4-Way match, that they knew, I think, that putting Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins as the Cruiserweight Championship on the pay-per-view was going to be the match where you were least likely to get a number of exciting high spots during the match.
Because Brian Kendrick doesn't necessarily wrestle that style.
Yeah.
So,
and then, you know,
so
TJP still focuses more so on the wrestling aspect than the high flying like a lot of the other cruiserweights do.
But I think that matchup specifically definitely tones down anything TJP would have done had it been anyone else. Had we had a repeat of him versus Grand Metalik, they would have tore the house down.
Yeah. You know, it's just that feeling when, you know, the Cruiserweight Classic was something like so special.
Yeah.
Because it was different and it was awesome, and then to have them all go up to the main roster as the Cruiserweight division and hear that, okay, now they're being told, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah, they're being told to tone down their style, which is unfortunate because I think that's what a well-rounded roster should be. You know, you can hear Triple H and Stone Cold and The Rock and Jericho all talk about how everyone was challenging everyone back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's why the product was so good, was everyone was trying to outdo each other. And now it's like, hey, don't outdo this guy because we want this guy to shine. And that's really unfortunate when we've just spent the last 10 weeks watching these guys kill it.
Mm-hmm.
With no parameters whatsoever. Triple H just letting them do what they want to do.
Yeah, and it hurts, I think, the overall whole of it, going like, okay, yeah, 10 weeks worth of programming, we know what these guys can do. So there's a lot of watching it and going logically, it doesn't make sense. Why aren't they doing this?
Yeah, like it's not going to make nearly as much of a difference to people who didn't watch the Cruiserweight Classic, because they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They're just, they're probably still being wowed by some of the stuff they do. Not just, like I said, the match wasn't bad. We still had, the Danger Rana. We still had some very, very vicious holds from
a lot of good
Brian
counters.
Kendrick. There was still some great stuff, but it wasn't anything near what we saw in the Cruiserweight Classic.
No. But again, with the aside that a couple of the moves didn't go quite as well as they probably hoped to execute them.
Yeah.
And the fact that it looked like maybe Kendrick tweaked his knee a little bit in the early goings of the match, it turned out okay.
Yeah, I mean, the end of the match was great because I liked watching TJP scramble to get out of the Captain's Hook. Congratulations for calling that one. He had to get out of it like 3 different times. And
I like at the end they were just kind of like going back and forth. Like, the TJ's knee bar, and then the chokehold, and then the knee bar, and then the chokehold, and then eventually it was the knee bar again. Because he ended up hitting the
fireman's carry into the Pele.
Yeah, which is what I call it the Benadryller.
Oh, okay.
Because it's what Ricochet does.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then doing the wheelbarrow into the flapjack that sets up the knee bar.
Yeah. Getting Brian Kendrick to tap out. And then there was a post-match interview that was interrupted by Brian Kendrick, who would hug TJP, because he didn't do the handshake at the beginning of the match, so he thought, okay, good sportsmanship, got the hug, and then he headbutted TJP. So we're probably...
And the crowd popped.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see some fallout on Raw tonight from what happened here. So TJ Perkins, still your Cruiserweight champion. Then we had match number 7.
Which was the point for both of us.
Yes. So Kevin Hawk up 2-1 currently. And this is another same...
3-2.
Yeah, that's the one. 3-2. And this one here, this is going to be another point for both of us. Or we're going to stay the similar distance because we both went for Cesaro in the match 7 of the best of 7. Finally ending what was, this long, drawn-out thing. It's like no one really wanted this many matches between Cesaro and Sheamus. These two came out to fucking fight this time.
I'm mad.
You don't even want to talk about how good the match was?
It
was good.
No, they did. They came to play.
Yeah, neither of them let up in this match.
This was sort of like, despite the fact that I didn't like the Best of 7 series, I'm not a fan of watching the same guys go on repeat week in and week out.
Right.
Especially for the fact that before the Best of 7 series started, like Cesaro and Sheamus had 2 Raws and a pay-per-view already under their belt.
Yeah.
Prior to the Best of 7 series starting. This is how a Best of 7 series should go. In the way that in this match, being tied 3-3, that they busted out way more than any of the previous matches.
Yeah. Which is good. When it's your finale, you obviously want to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, and it's a thing that I think gets a little left out every now and again, is that if you're gonna be married to someone, per se, which is the business, I guess, the wrestling terminology for a long-term feud.
Right. Absolutely.
You don't want to. I mean, some people do, which is not to negate that the matches are bad, because they're good. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will go and just shoot everything they've got, match number 1.
Right.
Which goes, okay, the match was great, match number 2, though, is going to be the exact same thing. It's still going to be a great match, but we've seen it all before. This is they had 6 matches in very short period of time.
Yeah.
But then match 7 comes along and it goes, holy crap, this one was way over the top compared to the other ones that I've seen.
Like, they both, like, nearly killed each other a couple times. In
Cesaro nearly killed himself.
Yeah.
He dove, but, like, went down.
He scorpioned himself. He leaded himself.
He didn't even, like, really scorpion as much as, like...
Just drove his head forward.
Just pile drove himself.
And, and you even said it, like, Sheamus couldn't have saved him. Like, he was going way too fast and way too directly at the floor.
Wait, it wasn't even the speed. It was like he jumped out and, like, instead of jumping straight out, he
jumped down
at a downward angle, like he was trying, like, the world's most dangerous chop block. Could you imagine if he would have just taken out Sheamus at the knees like that?
Oh god, he would have blown Sheamus' knee out.
Turned into a goddamn flamenco.
And
Casper
then
the flamenco ghost.
And then Sheamus had that really weird like roll kick over the top rope thing that he did, and then he jumped and tried to hit a clothesline off the top rope to the floor. Ended up getting hit with the uppercut. The uppercuts were nasty. Like both of them were throwing heavy shots. And
shots.
Everybody. And it was just, we had, the battle of, Cloverleaf versus Sharpshooter. Cesaro, trying to get the swing on multiple times. Sheamus hit the Celtic Cross on the outside, or the White Noise on the outside. There was a lot of really crazy bumps in this match. And afterward, both of them are just destroyed. And then we get, both of them backed up against the barricade. Refs trying to get them back in the ring.
Yeah, this is after, Sheamus knocked Cesaro down to the outside and then jumped off the top rope.
Yeah.
And crashed onto him on the outside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's already, a small car collision.
Yeah.
And
then on top of everything else that they've done prior to that.
Yeah.
So Sheamus ends up clothesline,
Cesaro
clotheslined Sheamus over the barricade. They're laying there.
The way they did it, though, I kind of like, because they hit at a rate that didn't just send them flying over. They sort of gave the illusion that they hit and teeter-tottered over and then both slid down head first.
Yeah. And so at this point, having already seen what they've done to each other, doctors and the referee and everyone just immediately rush over to where they are, checking on them. Cesaro's got that far away look in his eyes.
And Cesaro's shaking his arm out and talking about how he doesn't have feeling in his arm.
And Sheamus just kind of keeps looking around he doesn't quite know where he is. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be the big they get back up, they go in, they finish it. Then you see the referee look at the trainer who's looking at Sheamus. The doctor shakes his head. The referee goes over, and they ring the bell. There's no actual announcement. We just get a very angry Cesaro telling a doctor, I can wrestle with one arm. I've wrestled with one arm before.
I've fought with one arm before. Jesus.
And then a group of people...
The referee was apparently Jesus.
A group of people picking up Sheamus and trying to help him. Sheamus, shoving everyone else, saying, I've got this, as he stumbles through the audience.
And, eventually collapses.
Yeah. So Cesaro ends up getting back in the ring, tells Sheamus, dude, come on, get back in here, as he, one arm is dangling at his side. And they take Sheamus away. And
so we go to a no contest.
The match was great. And why do we have to have... 'cause I guarantee you, there is no fucking way that they are going to top this.
Until they give us the next Best of 13 series.
You shut your goddamn mouth. So neither of us got a point on that one. Still 3-2.
Sheamus and Cesaro will be determined to wrestle each other every Monday Night Raw and Raw pay-per-view until the end of the goddamn year.
Yay. So yeah, we'll see where that ends up going. So like I said, we're at the same. We're what? Still 3-2. Yeah. No. You know, normally I'd be like, hey, it's cool because I kind of like Sheamus, but no. It was the best of 7 for a reason.
No, it wasn't. This was the best of 7 for actually no reason.
There was a reason. We don't have anything for Cesaro and Sheamus until one of them gets a title shot.
That's still not a reason.
It's a WWE reason. Moving on.
It's called a goddamn cop-out.
We had another split decision here. We had Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho.
And I was rooting for the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
I don't want to. That's why I'm trying to outguess you here, because I don't want to drink it in.
Man.
This was good. I still hope...
Sammy came into this match with a lot of attitude.
Yeah, he did. He's been really pissed off at Jericho.
He's bent out of shape.
Well, he got hit in the head with a cell phone.
Cell phone hit.
So, you know, I can't imagine someone would be like, that's cool, we'll just have like a cool match after you hit me in the head with a cell phone.
You got an iPhone whipped.
So, he was obviously in, you know, a different state of mind. He wasn't looking to go easy on Jericho.
He didn't.
But, I mean, Jericho was...
He chopped Jericho.
like,
so damn hard that, like, there was a handprint swelling on Jericho's chest.
Pretty gnarly. But it was, you know, it was another one of those matches where they hit all the usual spots, and then we had, you know, the moment in the ring where they kept kind of going back and forth towards the end, which was really the best part.
We did learn something about Jericho, though. The man has a very difficult time with tornado DDTs.
Yeah, twice. He just couldn't do it.
I don't know if it's his, like, short legs, or if it's just maybe he's too old to spin that fast anymore. But there's just something with him and spinny DDTs there's lost in translation.
Yeah, Sammy did the one that worked was the one in the ring, where he did the.
It was like 3. It was like, I'd give it like a B.
Yeah, it was a B, but then we had the
C-.
The C-D when we did the torpedo through the turnbuckle, where Jericho just collapsed as soon as Sammy was on him. There wasn't any spinning. It was a rolling DDT. And yeah, I mean, this was one, like, this could have been a more important match. I didn't care.
Well, yeah, this match was, I feel, completely one of those matches that was come up for the same reasons they had a best of 7 series. It's like, hey, Jericho's a good wrestler, Sami Zayn's a good wrestler. Let's make up a reason for them to fight each other at the pay-per-view, because maybe if we have more matches than SmackDown's pay-per-view, our pay-per-view will be better.
Yeah. I mean, they made a good decision in putting these two guys against each other.
Yeah, they succeeded in their plan. Like, Jericho is good, Zayn is good, they work well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match.
Yeah. But that's kind of as far as it goes.
Yeah, because it really doesn't benefit either one of these guys at all, really.
And on top, like, I know this is going to be a one-off now, because there's got to be something more. Because, like, if Jericho ends up winning after Sammy goes for the haluva kick and gets hung up, and there's a lot of back and forth, he gets out of the walls of Jericho, ends up hitting the Blue Thunder Bomb, and that's like his crowning achievement of the match. And as he goes to pick up Jericho, Jericho hits a really quick code breaker and picks up the win. This kind of goes back to when Jericho beat Styles at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does it really do for Jericho when you've got, at Mania you have the guy that WWE's been wanting to get for years, or the guy that people have been wanting to see in WWE for years, and now you've got one of the most popular guys from NXT who you're doing absolutely nothing with, and don't get me wrong, I love Chris Jericho, but I don't think he needs to be beating Sami Zayn.
No, he doesn't need to be. And that's exactly what my rationale was on the prediction show.
I know.
I don't
like it.
That if he were to beat Jericho, that would immediately set him up for another match against Kevin Owens. And WWE's like, no, we're not going to do that. So how are we going to divide? I think that was the purpose of this match, was to divide Sami Zayn from Kevin Owens. Jericho right now is the sub-boss to where Kevin Owens is the boss.
He's the Goro.
He's the Goro before the Shang Tsung.
Or the Shao Kahn.
Alright. So, I was going older. I was going Mortal Kombat 1.
Alright.
Back when Shang Tsung was a wizard.
Right. Now you fight Shang Tsung like in the middle of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it is. It's Jericho. You have to beat the best friend before you can beat the champion.
So we're going to have a best of 7 between Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn will win after they go to a no contest at the Royal Rumble, and I don't...
No, we're not going to best of 7 them. Hopefully, it's a one and done.
We'll find out on Raw tonight.
I mean, I'm not going to super complain because good matches come out of this feud.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't need to happen more.
I'm going to complain right now because now you're up 4-2. Because you went with Chris Jericho.
Drink it in.
I don't want to drink it in, which is why...
Your next two picks have to win.
The next 2 matches are absolutely vital for me. My best case scenario is I guess it's best case for myself because if I tie you up, Devon dies. If I tie up with you,
he has to drink the smoothie.
No, if I tie it up with you, we both have to drink the smoothie.
Yeah,
so
we both have to drink the smoothie with all 10 ingredients.
Yeah, so I won't have to suffer on my own.
You won't have to endure solely.
Because currently I have to put 2 items in a smoothie, and I'm not excited about it. So, going into the Triple Threat Women's Championship match, Charlotte defending against Sasha Banks and Bayley. This was awesome.
It was a really good match. Just like I said about the Tag Team Championship match, these women went on to do a masterful job of using false finishes.
Yeah.
It helps in these tag team matches or multi-person matches where you have third party or fourth party who can just dive into the ring and break something up at the last second.
Yeah.
It also really played to this match, I feel, the fact that it was a triple threat with no disqualification because we had Dana Brooke getting involved specifically in like the perfect moments.
Yeah. Dana Brooke, who has been consistently doing
better.
So much better on Raw, has really started to establish a good place on the roster and played a great second hand to Charlotte in this match.
Absolutely.
She's
Which,
been...
by the way, I'm going for Charlotte. He's going for Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Thomas voted for Bayley, but he's not in on this win.
Yeah, so we got a 3-way split, but I need a Sasha Banks win. Not only because I love Sasha Banks, but because I don't want to drink this nasty stuff. So.
Potentially nasty. He doesn't know what's in the bags.
Well, they're not all going to be good, and I can't imagine that too many flavors can go together very well, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, and like we said during predictions, this is a combination of the 4 horsewomen we haven't seen go at each other in a triple threat match.
Yeah.
Bayley has gone against the other 3 of them in a fatal 4-way. She's gone against each one singly, but the big triple threat match at WrestleMania was Becky Lynch. So it was good to see Bayley get involved, and elevate herself, and everyone just had great moments in the match itself. Bayley, I loved Bayley's ability to when she was going back and forth between the corners, and she was just like, she did like the big step up elbow drop, and then she did she was doing the big elbows, and she was having fun, and we were getting to see Bayley in her element.
Yes, in her wheelhouse.
Yes, we found out what that means during the pay-per-view. And then, Sasha, it was good to see that she was, she was in good health. She was able to go through the entirety of the match.
Yeah.
She's got, I feel like she's got the best chemistry because she's had fantastic matches singly with both of these women. Mm-hmm. And so she was great at keeping the pace with both of them depending on the situation. And Charlotte, not only having Dana, out there to help her, but she was on top of her game in this. That moonsault, when she hit both of them with a moonsault, she couldn't have hit that more perfectly. It was a beautiful moment. And it was on top of the fact that the match was great. I was even more nervous because I'm trying to win this point. So when you've got all these different pins and submissions happening and people breaking it up, I was like legit yelling at at Charlotte and Bayley to get the hell out of the ring so the other one could lose to Sasha.
Yeah, and we had two very, very near wins for you.
Yes.
Towards the end of the match,
Yeah,
because we had Sasha get both Bayley and Charlotte in the bank statement.
Yeah.
At one point, for the other, either Charlotte or Bayley, to come in and kick Sasha and knock her off.
And there was even the time when Dana actually pulled Charlotte out of the ring, and there was so much back and forth. It's like Sasha ends up punching. That's Dana Brooke, always good for a Sasha punch in the face. It works every time. She's like, yeah, you get back in the ring, and Sasha just fucking socks her in the face, and then Sasha ends up trying to get up into the ring, and I think Bayley was going for a sunset flip, or was trying to take Charlotte down, and Charlotte had a hold of Sasha's hair.
Yeah.
And Sasha was caught up in the rope, so no one was going anywhere at this point. Charlotte ends up getting let go. Yeah, that's what it was. It was like an O'Connor roll.
Yeah.
That Charlotte kicks out of and actually shoves Bayley into Sasha. Sasha goes tumbling, or no, she gets booted in the face.
Yeah, no, Charlotte uses her long legs to her complete advantage at this point because she kicks Bayley. Bayley crashes into Sasha and rebounds off the ropes. She's so close enough to the ropes that she doesn't have room to fall, so she rebounds off the ropes into a second kick from Charlotte. So she had to eat 2 feet in the mouth from Charlotte, and Charlotte picks up the win after beating her with the Billy Kay special. That's what I call it. Calling it what it is. She beat her with an NXT Chicks move.
Well, it's 5-2. I can make a comeback at this point.
But you can at least alleviate a little pressure
Yeah.
if
I have
Rusev retains.
one more chance. And this is the real scary one.
This is the scary one because if you don't remember our wager, we added a little caveat to this one where if Roman Reigns wins, but by disqualification and doesn't take the United States Championship home, I get a bonus point.
So now, my best case scenario is Rusev wins, and I only have to drink
Three
three
ingredients.
nasty things. My worst case scenario is 5 nasty things if he gets his 2 points.
Spoiler alert, I don't get my 2 points.
But spoiler alert, I don't get my 1 point.
Nope, because Roman Reigns all over this match. which meant
fuck, man.
Rusev beat the crap out of him all over the place. He kept making comebacks. He kept doing Superman punches.
Lana got involved.
Lana got involved. She pulled the referee out of the ring, which, like, she... like, girl works out or something, because either that or the referee was, like, full of helium, because, like, he, like, went out of the ring.
Yeah.
Like, all the way. And then he ejects Lana. All of Lana goes up the ramp and looks, like, at the camera and says, I didn't do anything wrong.
I did nothing wrong! That Rusev starts to get a little bit back into it.
Rusev hit a straight-up Mortal Kombat kick.
He did.
On Roman Reigns.
He did. Got him in the accolade.
Which I kept calling for spin kick, and I think if he would have done that, he would have won the match.
He probably would have cinched a win with the spin kick. He
Yeah.
just did shit. He didn't do the spin kick.
So he gets Roman in the corner. He seems to have the complete 100% advantage. Battle cries, runs across the ring, jumps up in the air, assuming that he's going to either kick Rusev again with another or Roman again with another Mortal Kombat kick, or perhaps just use his mighty Bulgarian girth to crush Roman Reigns. And Roman spears
No.
Rusev out of the air, hooks a leg, gets un, deux, trois, and is your new United States champion.
And now I have to drink 4 nasty things.
So you have a 4-ingredient smoothie coming up. Because the only other match left is the Universal Championship match, and we all picked Kevin Owens.
We all went with Kevin Owens. Well,
in Machka, you no longer trust.
No, I still believe in.
Absolutely.
I still believe in Machka.
Rusev.
I just know that Machka doesn't match up to Vince's boy.
Yeah, Rusev is still like a diamond on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
He's a diamond in the coal mine that is Raw.
He's oh god, and Cole's on Raw too. No, he's still one of the things that is always worth watching Raw for.
Yeah,
So.
whether it be like halfway unintelligible promos to do with anuses and fish, or
Always fish.
spin kicks and shit.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Rusev. You probably feel worse than I do. I might throw up. I wouldn't be surprised if you threw up. That was a pretty gnarly spear that you got hit with.
I'm gonna hope this just means on to bigger and better things for Rusev. I mean, imagine we're gonna see this match at least one more time. Because Rusev's gonna have
I mean, you do.
rematch
Yeah, you
spots.
got the rematch, so just give it back. Anyway, so points don't matter at this point. But we have our main event.
You said but. Universal Championship on the line. Kevin Owens making his first official defense.
Yeah.
No, second official defense because he defended against Seth, I guess, the other night. On Raw.
He hasn't defended yet. He's kept Roman from making it a triple threat, and then just faced Roman in a. Oh, actually, yeah, he did defend against Roman Reigns.
Did he? Was that the cage match?
Wait, no, because Roman Reigns won that. No, I'm pretty sure this is the first.
Okay.
This is the first actual. This is the first title defense of the championship.
Yeah, which is kind of a big deal. Kevin Owens holding it for
He has a longer reign combined than Finn Balor and Vacant.
Yeah. By like 3 times that much.
Yeah, at least.
So good match.
Yeah, absolutely. This
Really decent chemistry. Good dynamic, just because we do have the varied size and style difference between Owens and
it's
Rollins.
interesting because like they do have similar move sets despite being completely different body types.
Yeah. And you know, they do a lot of similar moves, but they also go about everything in very different ways.
Right.
Seth is very go, go, go.
Yeah.
Because CrossFit and such.
And he's a babyface
that
now.
turns you into that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That, like, movement is key.
Right.
Where Owens is like, he gets his stuff in, but if he has the opportunity, he'll headlock you for 4 minutes.
Yeah, he picks his spots.
Yeah. And they both make it work.
Not all spots worked out for Kevin Owens though.
No. What's cool, they had a little exchange where, like, Owens, like, or Rollins, like, did one of his, like, back kicks to Owens, and Owens fired back with a super kick, and then Rollins fired back with his little, like, corkscrew enziguri, and they both fell over.
Yeah, I think there was it started with a knee strike.
Yeah.
Then it was a
just, like,
super kick.
Then
It was a back kick.
Yeah,
great.
They both end up down.
That was a great exchange. Kevin Owens tried to do the senton through the table on the outside.
Got a big pop because he set Rollins up on the Spanish announce table.
Oh yeah.
He got up on the other language announce table.
Pretty sure it was German.
And
no,
like,
French.
The ref is like, don't do it. Don't smash the announce tables.
Oh, you can't tell me what to do. Suck it. And
yeah, suck it, and the ref, and then he turns, sucks it to Kevin.
Sucks it to
Rollins, and runs,
then
jumps, and Rollins moves out of the way.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens' balls turned into an anglerfish.
And then I don't remember what it was, but Rollins ended up having a moment where he actually he ended up going for the pedigree. He stopped Owens from doing something, said suck it, ended up hitting the first or the only pedigree, which I think Owens ended up getting like a foot on the ropes or ended up kicking out.
Yeah,
or
one
something.
of my favorite counters of the match though is Owens went for the pop-up powerbomb.
That was so good.
Seth just like goes up and comes right back down into pedigree position.
Yeah, just immediately tries to hook the arms. Yeah, it was just that I liked both of them tried to use the frog splash to their advantage. I think Owens had been working on Rollins' knee and took him out and then hit the bullfrog splash and Rollins kicked out. Rollins ended up I think he ended up doing like his knee strike and then he did the big frog splash and then at one point we have another attempt at a pop-up powerbomb which sends Rollins over Owens' head and he crashes down on the referee.
Mm-hmm.
So referee's out. Rollins ends up I think hitting another pedigree and is trying to wake the referee up and he's not moving at all. Jericho is down there at this point and he's causing all kinds of issues. At one point Owens isn't even in the ring and it's literally just a fight between Rollins and Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho
besties for life.
Yeah.
Dad squad.
So Jericho ends up getting taken out over on the other side and Rollins is still trying to wake the referee up who's now on the outside. He's got Owens pretty much dead to rights. All he's got to do is go in and hit him with a pedigree. He's got to hit him with one more move to put him down. So we have Stephanie walk out with the senior official and send him down. And Rollins is like, okay, awesome. He gets in the ring expecting the referee to be right behind him. Instead, the referee checks on the other referee. And Rollins is like, what are you doing? We have a match. Get in here and count the pinfall. And the ref's like, oh yeah, sorry. He slides in. And as Rollins turns around, he gets hit with a pop-up powerbomb, and Kevin Owens retains the Universal Championship.
And Stephanie just kind of stands there looking in, like, sort of disapproval, but also sort of like, oh god, Seth's going to be able to complain a lot now.
Yeah, well, she had, like, as she turned around, she had almost like a... It was a mental middle finger to Seth Rollins, I feel like. It was just like well, that sucks, and she walked away as Owens and Jericho started singing We Are the Champions.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where I feel like, okay, they're still running with the Stephanie's, like, I didn't have anything to do with Triple H coming on Raw, blah, 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 but also in the way that it's just like Stephanie going, I might not have had anything to do with that, but you keep yelling at me and accusing me of it, so I'm not sorry that this happened.
Yeah, Rollins has really dug his own grave by getting in Stephanie's face consistently since that match.
Yeah, whether or not you got in her face for something she did or didn't do, either or, Stephanie is very vindictive.
It's Stephanie McMahon. She does shit because she can.
She holds grudges.
Yeah. Forever.
And a day. To infinity and beyond.
So, no title changes other than the U.S. Championship, which we don't really want to talk about. Not as good as Backlash.
No.
It had its moments.
I will be honest.
All the matches were good.
It flowed better than just about any Monday Night Raw that's happened since the brand split.
And I will say both Backlash and Clash of Champions have been better than SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, it's Raw is trying. We'll see. There was and that's another thing. There was a lot of screwy finishes.
Yeah.
We had.
Because it's Raw. Raw writing.
Yeah.
Raw is all about the story and what's going to happen next. And not about the match should be the focal point.
Was Jericho and Zayn the only clean finish? Oh, no, I guess Perkins and Kendrick.
Perkins and Kendrick was a clean finish. Nia and Alicia was a clean finish.
I think all the rest of them had interference in some form or fashion during the match or for the finish.
Yeah.
Chill out on the outside interference. Please. And thank you. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
And click all the links down in the description that take you to all of our social medias. You can check out the SoundCloud if you want to listen to our 4 regular weekly reviews, that being Indie News, Raw Review, SmackDown Rundown, and Midweek Wrap-Up. But you're over here on the YouTube, so you'll get extra videos like this. Next week we'll be having our top 5 as we begin the month of October. And get stuff like that in podcast form. So check us out over here on the YouTubes. Also, be sure to check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans because pretty soon I'm going to have to drink a nasty-ass smoothie. For the other punishment videos, you can go watch me get hit with a kendo stick and get some slight revenge when I make him drink a nasty shot.
Yeah, all that's over at Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
Link in the description.
Reasonable with a W, like wrestling.
You can also check out our unboxing videos. We should have another one of those coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, and our reaction videos, which there's going to be another one of those coming up soon because somebody did accept my challenge.
Good job, Lucas.
Totally delivered on their end. Therefore, I will have to be watching Delete or Decay.
Yes. So we'll probably be doing that sometime this week. So expect that video to be up by the weekend more than likely. So thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck the best of 7 series.
I'm so excited for Roman Reigns as the champion.
Which one of these is the best of 7 middle fingers?
SmackDown on yet?